Warning, the opinions expressed in the following program are that of the host and or guest. They do not necessarily reflect the opinions of Complex Networks, Yahoo Sports, its affiliates, or any employee thereof. This show may contain adult humor and profanity and may not be suitable for general audiences. Now that we got all that corporate bullshit out the way, let's start the show.
Who'd be knocking this late? We have a game to prepare for. Oh. Hi.
Who is it?
It's Make-A-Wish kids.
Just give him a signed football and tell him to bugger off.
Forget Die Hard. Love Actually is actually a Christmas movie. We'll dive into all the drama with the defending champs in a bit. Welcome to Mostly Football. As you can see, I'm not Ben Lyons. He's off somewhere meeting famous people to drop more big names. I'll drop a couple of names. That's Super Bowl champ Martellus Bennett, and he's comedian James Davis. How are your holidays, boys? Marty, did Santa leave you a big old bag of weed under the tree?
Nah, last thing I need is a white man dropping off weed at my house, because that's definitely going to be a setup.
Man.
Fair enough.
I got my uncle like that on a Cadillac.
Woo! You took no time off for the holidays.
I love Marty's point of view on life, man. You thought it was a simple holiday. Right. There's an agenda in everything.
I thought, what would Marty want most for Christmas? Oh.
Well, I don't really ask for anything for Christmas because I don't really need anything.
Because you have everything?
Yeah, like, I love my wife, I love my daughter, my life is great. I get to make art every day, so I'm in a really good place. But, you know, Christmas is cool. I guess if you want to wait all day to celebrate, all year to celebrate family and buy each other gifts, then great for you. I tend to celebrate the other 364 days, and Christmas is actually my day off from celebrating, motherfuckers.
Well, what about your daughter? Did you do the Santa thing with her?
Well, she knows, like, so she'd be like, hey, Dad, it's Santa. You know he's not really real, right?
Oh.
I'm like, yeah, you fucking right, he's not, because Daddy back hurts every single day, and Daddy had to come down all the way out here in Playa Vista to do a damn TV show so that he could afford to get you gifts.
So your kid's going to be that kid in kindergarten?
Yeah, she knows.
She's the one that's going to be blowing up the rest of our kids' dreams?
Well, she needs to know that, she needs to understand that I work really damn hard to make sure that she gets all the things that she has in life.
Well, I believe in magic. I don't know, James. What about you?
It is magic.
Oh, I mean, I'm torn because I definitely want my props if I'm, supporting my family. But I feel like, Jet is like, she's so young. Like
she's almost 5.
She's almost 5 and she's already woke,
No.
Damn right. I don't want the white man taking credit for my hard work in my household.
Wow. Well,
I worked hard for those gifts.
Is the hilarious Timothy DeLaGhetto, who is not white, and he is joining us today for How Many Fucks? I can't wait for that. Also on tap, WENTZ or FOLES? If the Eagles are going to fly in the playoffs, who should be under center? Plus, inside LeBron James's terrible, horrible, no good, very bad week. And Martellus put his art skills to the test in the latest Adventures with Marty.
We can rip this up and layer it.
And then paint over it?
If we want, yeah.
That could be tight, yeah, because it add that texture. That looks cool.
I love the texture there, but no one's painting a prettier picture in the NFC than the Saints. With their come-from-behind thrilling 31-28 win over the Steelers, the Saints wrapped up the #1 seed and home field advantage in the playoffs. They can go to the Super Bowl and never have to play outside again. Marty, should Saints fans be booking their tickets to Atlanta?
I think most Saints fans are probably going to drive to Atlanta.
Bang, bang.
Nah, but I mean, they're a very good team. The best part about them is that offense is scoring points, but that defense is playing very well. So if that defense could keep performing the way they are, putting pressure on the quarterback, getting turnovers, and if they could turn the ball over at least 1 or 2 times a game for that offense to get extra possession, then I think they have a great chance of, and always playing inside the whole way, because that's right up their alley. Like, they're an inside team, and they're a fast team. They play the best when there's no elements to fuck with Drew Brees' thing. So I think they have a good chance of being the Super Bowl champs, and especially with the way the Rams are right now.
I know, that one hurts. But I think the thing that's interesting to me is that outside of Michael Thomas, you've got, well, Ted Ginn is back, but you've had these 2 rookies kind of holding it down. And there's the run game. I mean, Mark Ingram is scoring in every game, even if he's not the main focal point. Alvin Kamara is doing his Kamara type things.
They do a real good job of mixing those two up.
Yeah.
Their 1-2 punch. A lot of times you get 2 backs that are similar, and it's hard to get them in a game. But you split Alvin out, he gets catches. He produces in several ways that you don't have to hand it off to him. He get his carries, but you can move him around. They use him, like I always say, the running back is the new tight end, so they get the matchups they want with him and things like that. But Michael Thomas, to me, is one of the most impressive guys in the league because his catch ratio, besides Mohamed Sanu, is probably one of the highest that I've seen. Like, he has 13 targets in the game. He has 12 catches.
12 catches every week. Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah.
And what's interesting about him, too, is, like, he actually tweeted at me because I wrote a scouting report before he was drafted by the Saints.
Yeah.
And I said that I thought he might have some trouble picking up a playbook because at OSU, he kind of was benched for having trouble picking up the playbook. And so I thought, well, in the NFL, if he goes to a creative team, that's going to be even tougher for him. And he tweeted at me, "You a joke." And I guess he was right because he's been money.
Yeah, but they probably said it was because of playbook reasons or things like that because it's all politics. But
okay. And Urban Meyer's all.
Yeah, he always lying about shit.
James, any distractions for the Saints?
Well, look, first of all, the Saints, I think they have a great chance of going to Super Bowl because the swag is at an all-time high universally in the team, but especially in the defense as well, with Cam Jordan calling out Ben Roethlisberger. Whenever you're calling out people who should be Hall of Fame or saying, like, yo, they're overhyped, that means you're so confident in your game that you're like, you know what, I'm so nice, I'm calling out greats now. I'm calling out the big names because I'm on my stuff and I'm killing it.
We're gonna talk about that in a little bit, so don't give away too much. But we're gonna get to Pittsburgh.
But also, a black fact is that brothers, there's a natural migration from New Orleans to Atlanta that happens in general. Because you have the strip clubs, you have the parties, you have the day parties, you have the recording studios. Atlanta is that place to be. And there's already a club-like atmosphere in the Saints locker room after wins. So all they want to do is take that atmosphere to Atlanta, and they will do anything to protect the turn-up.
Well,
thus, in order to protect the parties that will ensue after a Super Bowl win in Atlanta, they are playing at 200% because there are big booty dancers waiting for them after that.
Is incredibly
I'm putting that on the
succinct.
record.
So
that's
not
a black fact.
Analysis.
That's a black fact.
Amazing.
So they're not playing for the Lombardi.
No, they're playing for
the
they're playing for that. Oh, yeah, they're playing for the Lombardi.
Let's talk about Pittsburgh since you
Lombardi.
mentioned him. No one in Pittsburgh took the Saints' loss harder than Juju Smith-Schuster. After fumbling late in the fourth quarter to kill any hopes of a Pittsburgh comeback, Juju put the loss on himself. For the record, Juju had a big game, 11 receptions for 115 yards. At 22, he is the youngest player in NFL history with 100 catches in a season. Speaking of stats, we're coming back to you now, James. Cam Jordan isn't feeling Big Ben stats. The Saints defensive end openly questioned Roethlisberger's Hall of Fame credentials, saying Big Ben was not a top 5 quarterback in this era. James, what do you think?
I mean, encroachment on James, you know.
No one actually calls it encroachment, first of all.
Well, encroachment on me, you know. I jumped the gun on this one because I was just so fascinated because, I mean, he's like a boxer. You can just tell in that man's confidence. He was like, is he though? He was like, for real though? Come on, son. Like, Roethlisberger, He really that good? And he'll make you, even as a Roethlisberger fan, be like,
I don't know.
Ooh,
I don't know. Marty, what about you?
I mean, it depends. Like when the era starts, if you're just looking at stats or what's going on, I mean, you got Peyton, you got Aaron, you got Tom, you got Drew Brees,
Got
and
Eli.
I mean, you got Eli.
I love the face you made. You're like, Eli?
Eli and Phillip Rivers.
You
Can't
got
put
Phillip
both
Rivers.
of them in that.
Well, Rivers isn't a Super Bowl champion.
No.
So, I mean, his
Not
numbers,
yet?
Not yet. I mean, they got a good chance, but and then you had guys who put up great numbers that didn't win a Super Bowl. Like you had to put Romo up there, who his stats are just ridiculous if you look at the numbers on him. But I don't really know. I think that Ben Roethlisberger is the only person I know that has like rape cases that no one ever talks about. You know what I'm saying? So that's probably going to come into the.
So does that mean he's not
Hall of
first
Fame.
ballot, or that
I mean,
means
how
he
can
is
he not be
ballot?
first ballot? Because T.O. didn't have any of that shit, and
Wow.
he took it. He's definitely a Hall of Famer, a first ballot Hall of Famer.
T.O.
T.O. was, and he didn't
right.
get in on first ballot. So I think Roethlisberger will probably get in because he played for a historic franchise, which plays a big role in that as well. So I think he will get in at some point.
And they're all drama all the time. The Steelers always, it's like an episode of Housewives in there.
Yeah, I mean, their name are the Stillers.
Sip that tea.
Cool. Well,
That
Marty,
actually meant nothing. I just fucking with you.
I appreciate it. You sip on that and appreciate this. A tight end record has fallen. The Eagles' Zach Ertz broke your boy Jason Witten's record for receptions in a season by a tight end with 113. Meantime, Nick Foles rallied the Birds to win over the Texans to keep their playoff hopes alive. Foles was named the NFC Offensive Player of the Week, but if the Eagles make the playoffs and Carson Wentz is healthy, who gets the start?
Well, first of all, congratulations to Zach. You know, Zach is a cool guy. I got a lot of passes. I like Zach, but my thing with Zach, he doesn't change the game as far as like a Kelcey does. Like, it's a lot of catches, but it's not like a lot of production after the catches and touchdowns and things like that.
He's no George Kittle is what you're saying.
Yeah, George Kittle's like, what the fuck? I mean, he just came out of nowhere, right? But a young quarterback, if you're as a tight end, you want to play with a young quarterback that likes to throw the ball inside. And I think that's the difference between Nick Foles. I say that's because that's the difference between Nick Foles and Carson Wentz is that Nick Foles takes the big shots down the field. So if you look at the stats, Zach has 113 catches, but then no one else on the team has over 60 catches.
Well, and I think Foles is using Alshon Jeffrey as his security blanket because Jeffrey's got that catch radius that's
And he likes to throw it down the field.
Contested catches, he'll win them.
That's where the value in receivers always changing depending on who's at the quarterback position. Right. So you saw the week before against the Rams, Zach didn't get really many targets. I mean, they put a keep on him a lot, but he didn't get a lot of targets. But that's because they're looking like Nick is looking down the field for big plays. You know, he don't like to really throw it underneath and things like that. And then you see him try to force it when Akeem got that interception, try to get him into the game.
He's got no fear on third downs. He's not very good the rest of the game, but third downs, Nick Foles, second half, third downs, he's money. All the other times.
Yeah, I mean, as a backup quarterback, you only have to be good on a couple of downs.
That's true. What about you, James? Do you think the starting quarterback should actually start, or do you let the backup who won you a Super Bowl start?
I think you got to put the backup in and just let him get hurt or something and then put up, not hurt, but it's like let him take the first hit. And if he put a short leash on him, if he mess up,
so
Carson's
the starter is insurance for the starter?
So
that's insane.
So here's the issue. The guys in the locker room, they feel like when Nick is playing, they're more confident and they have more behind Nick. So the issue becomes from upstairs, right? For the team right now, it's best to keep Nick at quarterback.
Because they have their mojo.
For the franchise, it's better to try to put Carson in there because Carson's still very young and you don't need to have the Lamar Jackson and Flacco issue right now.
Well, you're talking about him, so let's talk about him. I mean, since Lamar Jackson became the starter, the Ravens are surging, and they've saved their coach's job as a result. Baltimore won 5 of their last 6 and announced John Harbaugh as their coach next year and years to come if he signs an extension. Not too long ago, Harbaugh was on the hot seat. But will Harbaugh's brother Jim leave Ann Arbor for another shot in the pros? Word is the Jets want him. Marty, if you're Jim Harbaugh, What do? You pack up your khakis and get back to the pros?
So which one's Jim and which one's John?
Jim is the one. You know what? Thank you. Because
Why they got Jim and... Oh, what are we going to name our son, baby? Jim and John.
Real creative.
Jimmy John's. They should open
I was
their own
thinking Jimmy John's. I thought they were.
They should do, I mean, you've just given
They
them
should
a
do
gift.
a commercial. They
right?
should do a Jimmy John's
Absolutely.
commercial.
So Jim Harbaugh is the coach of the Ben Lyons' alma mater, University of Michigan. And John Harbaugh is currently the coach of the
just fucking with you.
Okay, well, thanks. So do you think Jim should coach the Jets? I think the Jets is a sneaky good job.
I don't. I just think there's more longevity at coaching in college football. You have more job security than you have.
He's got young guys. Like I mean, it's like Pete Carroll after 4 years, that team turns over, but now you've got a young quarterback that's looked pretty good. He's a rookie, right? He's also the youngest quarterback, I think, in the league or to have been drafted. Yeah. Jamal Adams at safety looks money. He's got a Pro Bowl nom, and you've got Chris Herndon coming on. Robbie Anderson's young. He's coming on. I think if you're a college coach, this is like the kind of pieces that could work for you.
Could you play for a Jim Harbaugh?
Oh, no, I don't think so.
Well, I could play for anybody that doesn't lie to me.
It got real personal. Mark, tell us a story.
You,
a lot, right? I mean, I don't. Even if he's rah-rah, that has nothing to do with me. I don't really care. I ain't listening to him. You know what I'm saying? He could rah-rah all he wants. Like I just rah-rah this, rah-rah that. I'll just be in the corner somewhere getting ready for the game. I'm not a rah-rah guy.
That's what I mean.
Yeah. So like, it doesn't really bother me if that's what's going to motivate the team.
It doesn't motivate you.
Like like. What motivates me is my check on Wednesday. You know what I'm saying? Like when I come to work on Wednesday.
That's when you rah-rah, like, oh, my money's here, rah-rah.
Yeah, like I know that when I go out there, if I have no issues, only time I have issues is if my check is not in my locker on Wednesday.
A rah for every Benjamin.
Yes. I don't need outside motivation to go out there and play football. Like I don't need someone to be like, oh, let's go do this, or let's get great guys, let's get fired up. It's like, what the fuck? I was fired up when I walked into the building. Like, let's just go play football. This is what I do. Don't rah-rah me.
That's what makes you great.
That's right.
Brother.
Thank you.
All right. If Harbaugh takes the leap and goes to the Big Apple, maybe he'll run into Marty's best friend Desi, who's gotten a jump on the whole New Year's Eve scene.
What's up, MFers? This is best friend Desi coming to you live from the Big Apple. I'm out here in Times Square getting ready for all the New Year's Eve festivities, and I got none other than the genie in a bottle herself, Christina Aguilera, ready to do an interview, and here she comes right now. Hey, Christina, Desi Brown, Mostly Football. You ready to do this interview with a real one? What you mean that I get my flu shot? That's a personal question, and I'ma plead the fifth. Christina. Man, Christina tripping. Says she can't do the interview because it's flu season. That's why I like Britney Spears better anyway, even if she do be lip singing. But this is Desi Brown for Mostly Football. Back to you in the studio.
I mean, Desi's my best friend. So as a best friend, I must say this. Why is that suit so damn tight? It doesn't even make a V. It's like a awkward U on his chest.
U?
Yeah, it's like
a U. It's a triple-breasted U fit.
Yeah, it looked like a sweater. Like I'm like, God, bro. This year, Desi, you gotta get back to working out because that shit's just too tight.
Okay, first of all, if we're gonna talk about what Desi needs on the priority list, how about somebody to interview? Okay.
But if you look good, he might get more interviews.
Maybe. I'm just saying, it's just been Desi all season.
You guys have a 12-step plan for Desi, but the Browns don't need one this year because they got their swagger back. Cleveland went from winless to 7 wins, the biggest turnaround in franchise history. And no one's shown more bravado than Baker. Last time they played the Bengals, Mayfield iced his old coach Hugh Jackson on a post-game hug, and this time, he stared his ass down. I loved it. Marty, is this a bigger deal if Baker's black and Hugh's white?
Yes, definitely.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, why? Like, there's times where, why are you antagonizing this guy, who has a job? Like, what's going on? Like, and then if you want to do this thing, then speak on it. Don't just keep being like, oh, this or that.
Well, I think he spoke on it. You think Baker's out of line?
Subliminals. Those subliminals. Just come out and say how you feel. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
I don't think he's out of line. I really don't give a fuck. It doesn't really matter. Like, we make news out of it, but there's plenty of times where I turn to other coaches. Actually, I don't do that. There was one time I almost choked the coach, but he was on my team.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, well, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, he didn't motivate
That's a different situation.
Clearly, so.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. It's cute because it's this white dude flexing and staring somebody down like 8 Mile style, but like if that was a black dude, that would be seen as a threat. Like he might lose an endorsement. We'd be talking about it like he might get a flag. Like, I mean, think about it. Like, he's really staring somebody down like they previously had off the field beef. Like, this man was out here doing interviews.
Yeah, but Hugh Benedict Arnold him. I mean, he's not even a real coach. He's like Marvin Lewis's assistant.
But that's all in the system of football. Sometimes a coach messes with you, sometimes a coach doesn't believe in you. But he wasn't out here making diss tracks. He wasn't out here making YouTube videos being like, you know who sucks? Baker Mayfield. No, he just made a decision as a coach in his profession that he didn't believe in him, and that's it. And here's the thing. He's getting his payback back on the field, and we're all seeing it. And that's the respect he should get. But all that other stuff,
I love that he's not a robot, that he's not dead behind the eyes, that he's showing emotion. I mean, you don't like his swagger, Marty?
Nah, his swagger. To me, his swagger is not really. I like Phillip Rivers' swagger. That is authentic. Baker is trying
like
to.
When he throws his, like he starts screaming. And
I like Phillip Rivers. Everything about Phillip Rivers. If I had to play for a quarterback, I would love to play with Phillip Rivers.
Wow, I would not have pegged you. That's interesting.
Like, I just love watching it because he talks shit. But he does it the right way. You know, he picks and chooses when to do it, and he's always fired up. That's who he is all the time. Sometimes some guys are trying to like build a brand around themselves and things like that.
I feel like he's trying to build a brand.
This is very brand building moments, and I recognize when people are trying to build a brand, and I'm cool with that, man. Get your money. Stun on whoever you want to stun on. Go buy you some gold chains and keep that
same energy.
Keep that same energy, young man. So
it's an old black dude. I'm just saying it's an old black coach. Like if he's going up against Jalen Ramsey and he's getting in the face of like some swole dude in the offensive line, but it's an old black dude.
Yeah, why you attacking the coach? Attack a player on the field. If you want to talk shit to somebody, talk to the player.
I'm all about the personality. Keep dancing. I love the swag.
I agree with you about the brand. Like, that's annoying because I definitely think that he's taking pictures with white tigers and kind of building up his whole thing. But,
he's trying to build a brand.
But I appreciate that he's not, you know, like, oh, the camera goes on and you see the robot eyes and he's just making...
That you appreciate that he's not Russell Wilson.
That's what you said.
Yeah.
You've heard me talk about this before. Or, you know, he's not like doing endorsements right after he wins a Super Bowl. Like, he's actually feeling something.
No, he plays with a lot of energy. He's young. But this is a newer generation of kids. Like, this is the way they are. Like, you think about wide receivers like Odell that comes in and the way they play. Then, like, the younger generation of football plays it differently than how we did when I came in and we were growing up.
Media.
So it's like there's a social media aspect to the way they play the game. Like, they want to dance. They dancing with each other before the match. What the fuck is that about? Like, I'm about to play against a guy on the other team and we're dancing. We have a dance party in the end zone before. And then they got guys that's like, you know, it's just all weird to me. Like, sometimes, like, we're not friends when we're playing. Like, fuck you. Like, I don't give a shit about you, your family, none of that shit. After the game, how's your family doing? How's everyone doing? It's great. But during the game, even my teammates, like, when we went to training camp, like, everybody was the enemy. Like, when I go to train, because you're trying to stop me from getting my job.
Right.
So my job is to destroy you and make sure that you don't get a job. And I always viewed it like that. And some people told me it was the wrong thing. But once the season starts, we're teammates. But in training camp, we're all fighting for jobs. We're all trying to get to where we're trying to go. And I do the same thing when we play. There's guys I play against, besides my brother, there's guys that I played against that when we play, like, he's trying to dominate me. I never forget that the man across me gets paid to try to destroy me. So therefore, I have to be focused. I don't give a fuck how close we are, what we do in our spare time or whatever. But when we're on the field, it's head to head. Let's fuck each other up. And then after the game, it's like, man, that was great, man. You played well today. Let's get dinner next week. You know, that type of thing. So, like, these young cats, though, they just friends all the time.
Well, I don't know if Baker and Hugh are ever going to work things out. And I think they probably need another session with Dr. Trill.
Yeah.
Welcome back to Dr. Trill. Today, we are once again joined by Baker Mayfield and Hugh Jackson. Now, in their Week 16 matchup, cameras caught Baker being out of pocket once again and giving Hugh some mean mugs and shoulder shrugs that would have Nelly saying, "Shimmy, shimmy, Cocoa Puff, listen to it now."
I have no idea what you're talking about. We won.
Oh, you know what I'm talking about, Playboy. Now, the last time you were on my show, I didn't have these teardrops, Baker. Don't end up being number 3, okay? Because Dr. Trill put in work over this holiday and Kwanzaa season. Now, you're mean mugging Hugh, but Hugh is the size of a baby June bug. And everybody knows the Bengals defense is hot dookie. You ain't mean mugging T-Sizzle and the Ravens like that, I'll tell you what. Now, Hugh, how did Baker's mad dogging make you feel?
I cried in the car.
How would you like it if me and Hugh mean mugged you?
I wouldn't care.
Okay.
Okay, I don't like it. It hurts my feelings. I don't like it.
You got a little taste of your own medicine. So now this is what I want you to do. I want you both to stand up. And Baker, I want you to actually give your coach some black guy dap. And don't funny business like the last time you were on this show.
Coach, I may not like you, but I should respect you. Aww. Psych!
Ooh, got him!
Oh, I think LeBron James might need to book a session with Dr. Trill because he had himself a shitty week. He was accused of tampering, apologized for an anti-Semitic IG post, and hurt his groin. LeBron also took time to blast NFL owners for having a slave mentality. Marty, you're actually down with Jerry Jones and Bob Kraft, but do NFL owners have that slave mentality that...
Don't turn me into a house
Yeah,
on the show.
yeah,
Like,
Marty, you down with him.
like, no,
That's your peoples.
I fuck with Brother Kraft, though. Brother Kraft was nice to me or whatever. Jerry Jones, I mean, they say some fuck. I don't agree with everything they say, and I tell them that, you know what I'm saying? But first of all, I want to go back. How can a player be say that a player is tampering? We have players that, like, there's times where you call your homies like, man, you need to come play with us. That's what we do.
Right.
You get someone gets cut, you don't think people will call DJ, hey, DJ, make sure you try to come down here with us. Everybody's going like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're all the time, that's what guys want to play with their friends. That's not tampering. That's having friendships.
It's networking.
That's networking, yeah.
networking.
It's networking for net worth.
You
But
can't
no,
be-
I mean, like, I get what LeBron is saying. Like, what LeBron said became news, but I've been saying this shit for years, but when LeBron says people want to pay attention, what the fuck? He's just repeating shit I already said. Congratulations. But at the same time, I get it. But the thing that people miss is that in the NBA, the whole NBA is built off the player, right? The player, not the team. Not the logo on the team. It's the foundation of the NBA is built off of players. The LeBron James, those guys, they promote the players.
That's the Christmas game. They pick the teams based on who has the most star players.
Yes, so they promote the players. The NFL promotes the logo. Their loyalty is to the logo,
The shield.
not the player. So they don't really give a shit about the player. They only give a shit about the logo. Because the NBA cannot exist without the players.
So
The
like no star shines brighter than the shield.
in the
That's
NFL.
the thing,
So their
right.
their whole thing is to protect their shield and protect their team logos. They don't give a fuck what guys are doing or anything like that. That's not how they know, and they know that the turnover of player is going to happen so fast in the NFL. Like, guys are playing 17 years in the NBA, 16 years. LeBron's in his 15th year in the NBA. But in the NFL, there's not very many players that's there that long. You know what I'm saying? If you play 10 years, that's amazing, right? So, like, when you talk about the slave mentality and the way that players are treated, there's a lot of similarities. If you look at the NFL draft and the way the draft is, and you go back and research the history about how they used to do the slave trade, there's a lot of similarities in the NFL draft and how it goes. And there's nothing as dehumanizing as the NFL draft, right? You're on stage and your draws, there's a bunch of white men in the crowd with clipboards. You spin in circles, they measure your hand, they shout out how big your hand is. You just have to pose, you're just standing
You're
there.
talking about the combine.
The combine. So you're just standing in a long line of guys just waiting to go next on stage. They need to change that shit and do that differently. And there are some type of things that happen in the league where guys, if you, like on a slave field, like if reading was an issue in a slave field, right? If you was reading that cut out your tongue, that was one of the biggest crimes you could do, right? So because if you learn and you speak out, then you could educate others around you. And there's a lot of times things like that happen in the NFL. When guys start to educate or they speak out, then it comes down, and that's the hardest chop. You could do all kinds of other shit they don't really care about, but once you start speaking out and educating others and being in the locker room and teaching guys more and more about life and how things should be, those are the guys that usually try to move out of the place, because now they can't really control the way the room is thinking, because the NFL, the coaches, they want group thinking. They don't want individual thinkers. So that's why if you go every tight end room in the NFL, it's pretty much the same type of guys in every tight end room, and no matter what team you're on. Like, it's going to be the same group of guys. No, every team, everywhere it is. The quarterback room is going to be pretty much the same. The linebacker room is going to be pretty much the same. And coaches don't want guys who have outside interests, because if you have a bunch of individuals on the team, it's harder to control a bunch of individuals than a bunch of guys that think exactly the same. So a lot of guys are brainwashed from a young age, and you lose your identity, and the NFL becomes your identity. So then you become part of the system. It's a whole fucked up thing, actually. So I don't know.
I would love to hear you talk about that.
I know I need a blunt.
Well, I'll see your LBJ, and I'll raise you a B2K, because I don't know if y'all know, but the boy bands reunite in March as part of the Millennium Tour with Mario,
Yes.
Pretty Ricky,
Yes.
Yang and the Stang, Lloyd, and
Holiday.
Chingy. I'm not excited. It's got to be that bump, bump, bump. Those are B2K songs. Liz, you better break out that Von Dutch and that Baby Fat from the closet. I know you got some.
Right her.
Do you own Baby Fat?
Yes. I mean, it's tucked away.
It's tucked away for the right party, for like the right 2000s
tucked
millennium
away.
party.
Or I mean, I wasn't a B2K fan. I don't think I know any B2K songs, but I was a huge Pretty Ricky fan at one point in my life.
Is it 5 in the morning or is it 6 in the morning?
5 in the morning, and I'm
okay,
talking.
no, we can't sing. We can't sing. We can't afford it.
You can't even sing the song.
Bop, boop, boop, boop. I gotta remix it. Okay, that wasn't your song, Pretty Ricky. Sit down. All right. It's a different kind of reunion in Puerto Rico for Cardi B and Offset. Paparazzi snapped the combustible couple riding tight on a jet ski. Cardi didn't front about the chilling with her ex either. She admitted she just needed the smash. That's why we love her. She keeps it real. She's like, I don't really want him back, but I need that right now. I need to go to Puerto Rico and get that.
Combustible company.
I know, it's in the prompter, and I didn't even mess it up. Combustible. See how I say that? Combustible.
I mean,
This show is so combustible, my Sorry.
I mean, you love who you love. Like, if they want to get back together, that's none of my business. I don't give a, like, that's what they want to do. Go do what they do. And if it's good for her that if she wants the dick, she gets it from the same place she's been getting it for. Because the worst thing I imagine is trying to find some new dick. Because you just can't trust anybody out there, so.
And it's the holiday.
It's the holiday.
I did not like him, like, crashing her show.
I thought that was
Yeah.
so messed up.
I thought
that was
like, you
very
don't mess
lame.
with a woman's money. You don't mess with a man's money. Like, that is her money. That's her show. Get off the stage. You can
That's how I
text
felt-
her afterwards.
I think
I felt about the guy proposing at the marathon. Like, let her finish her race. Like,
It's everything's staged. I think that whole
looked
relationship is
pissed, though.
staged. It's like it's just one season of Love and Hip Hop with two people.
you can't
Getting
stage
married.
a baby, though.
Yeah, you can.
No,
they
you
can,
can't.
They can stage everything, man.
If you're staged, I think that the biggest thing is, like, when you bring a kid into a relationship, like, that dynamic is totally different. Because you think about the kid, like,
Okay.
fuck what y'all talking about, but, like, it's just want a healthy household where that kid can grow up and see what love is like and see what it's like to be loved by someone. Because, like, I think my daughter has a great understanding of love because she sees love from us in the household all the time. So when she grows up and she wants to marry a man, she knows what to expect. I mean, I always felt like if my daughter brings home a Martellus, then I did a great job. If she brings home a dude that's nothing like me, then I don't know what the fuck I was doing wrong. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, well, you choke coaches, but either way.
I like a man. If I know a man can choke a coach, I know he'll protect my daughter.
So, the PC Social Police went into overdrive recently when a clip from a 2011 HBO special resurfaced showing Chris Rock, Louis C.K., and Ricky Gervais tossing around the N-word. Jerry Seinfeld was the voice of reason, saying he never uses the word. Doesn't Louis already have enough shit on his plate? I saw it. I was uncomfortable. I don't like giving.
They were
people
laughing about it.
I know, but here's the thing.
didn't like
Sometimes
it.
we play around and maybe it's okay to say the N-word, but especially how we got on LeBron James for the Jewish money line, which is like in the black community, even if it's wrong, we're really saying it as a compliment.
Yeah.
So if that's wrong, I for sure don't want to see Louis C.K. saying the N-word.
But the thing is, that motherfucker didn't even flinch. Oh, you saying I'm a
That's the part I didn't like.
yeah.
Laughing about
You
it.
guys don't say you're saying.
I say it on
I say it all the
stage.
time. I'm like, God damn, who watching your shows?
It's people use the power of cinema or stand-up comedy as some kind of veil to release them and give them this access to say the word, and it's not okay.
But as a comedian,
But
here's a question for you. If him saying that is wrong, how do you feel about the stuff that Kevin Hart said?
What'd he say?
Like when he's talking about the gay community and things like that.
Oh, the
like
tweets?
Is that not
Those are old tweets.
Is a not committed to is not equivalent to?
No, Louis C.K. needs to apologize for that, just like Kev had to address what he said. He just can't do
Yeah,
it.
because they try to make him apologize. Will they make the white man apologize for his past mistakes? Because the white man has not apologized for his past mistakes. I'm still waiting for my reparations.
We need comedy reparations, okay? So Louis C.K., you better apologize and give me a role in your next movie.
I'm just interested in knowing what you thought about that dynamic. You know, but you're right. Kevin Hart did apologize in the past. It was about apologizing for something that he already apologized that was the issue. So he knew that it was wrong. When is Louis C.K. going to apologize? And will he use the word in his apology?
He's also a bad dude who's like
he's
masturbating in front of other women. Like it's not.
That's just weird to me.
He's
like
just trash.
Masturbating in front of people is just like that's just awkwardly weird. Like staying in the room and watching somebody masturbate.
Please don't break it down. Don't break it down. Please don't break it down.
You can be funny, but you're still trash.
I don't think he's funny.
I mean, he's not. His comedy's not for me. People are like, oh, I love him. He's so funny. He doesn't mean he's not trash.
Because it's a bunch of white people who want to hear other white people say on the stage.
Well, you know what's also not funny? During a wrestling tournament in New Jersey, a referee told a 16-year-old Andrew Johnson his dreadlocks weren't in compliance with league regulations. The ref gave Johnson 90 seconds to cut his dreads or forfeit. The junior allowed his trainer to cut his hair, then went on to win the match in OT. Yo, fuck that ref. Now that's racist. And only 90 seconds? You got 90 seconds to cut your hair? That's racist timing. Why only got 90 seconds? What if it takes 2 minutes, brother?
It's a high school match. How do a high school referee get so much authority on a match, right? So for me, all the people around this kid failed him. His coaches failed him.
The parent.
The people, the parents, the other people's parents, like everyone in that building failed that kid. Right? They just like, oh, he's so courageous. No, that's some traumatizing shit to have to do in that moment of time. It was like, oh yeah, he fought through it adversity. Why? No, that's not He shouldn't have to go through that experience. That's not an adverse situation. Adverse is like tearing your ACL and finishing the game. Like that's adverse in sports. Like having someone demean the way that you look to be able to participate in something that you've been doing all year long.
And the ref, though, he got into a fight with an African-American judge where he called him the N-word
Another
allegedly.
Ref, right?
Another ref,
Yeah.
right? He's been in this scene for like upwards of 20 years. He wasn't at weigh-ins, which is when you can sort of say to the people like, hey, you don't weigh enough, your hair needs to be shorter, whatever. He missed that whole thing. He showed up, his trainer's cutting his hair. I, as a mother of a son, I get too emotional about this.
But that's my issue. Now, why didn't the coach bring it up? Like, look, if you had an issue with his hair, you missed the fucking weigh-in, right? So there's nothing you can say right here. That type
throw down. They gotta throw down for it,
like you know, motherfucker, you need to cut if I was that kid's dad, I would found that motherfucker and cut his hair.
See, that's why we gotta stop shaming the crazy parents. You know, some of these parents who are outspoken, yeah, they may scare you in the crowd, but that's that parent who's gonna walk out there and be like, no, the little boy is about to wrestle with all his hair, and if you got a problem with it, we could take it outside. And that's somebody's grandmother talking.
And
you know,
give you a full Nelson.
Exactly. In the black community, your hair is just special, right? It's a special thing to have. Dreadlocks, to say that it's not, or locks and say it's not in a natural state, is so idiotic because that's the most natural state of the hair that you could possibly have as a black person. If we don't comb our hair, it locks up. So to say that it's not natural and it's not, it didn't look natural is the most fucked up thing. And for people to talk about some shit that they don't understand and a culture they don't understand, they just need to shut the fuck up and move around. Like they want to appropriate the black culture, but they don't know anything about it. So sit your fucking dumb ass down before I come body slam you. Next time, if I just want to power bomb this motherfucker, then pick him up and choke slam him like the Undertaker.
We gonna find his. We gonna Google it. Hey Google, find that dude.
Don't be trying to shout out your sponsors on the show.
Hey, what you talking about, man? Pixel 3. Listen, finally, on a lighter note, the Bears' Khalil Mack as the man in Chi-Town. Homie even got his own customized Bulls jersey. The Bulls are so sad, they could probably use his butt. Marty, you balled a little in your prime. Could you take Mack one-on-one?
I would destroy him one-on-one basketball.
Talk your talk.
Oh, come on the show.
Look at this. Like he's a great, look at that. Like that's not.
He look like a buff Eric Bledsoe.
There's like, look at that, man. I was just happy that he got a basketball goal in his house because doing well. That's a private gym in a house, basketball court. Man, you can play one-on-one. Invite me over, Mac, after you go to win the championship with the Bears and things like that, because that's who's going to put but the Bears have to score a lot of points to be able to beat the Saints. But also they can limit the Saints because the Cowboys did a great job against the Saints, and I think the Bears' defense is a lot better than the Cowboys' defense. But anyway, no, Khalil Mack cannot hold me in basketball. He got a good pass rush. We have our battles on the field. He won some, I won some. But on the basketball court, nah. He's got too many muscles, right?
And you're like 4 inches taller than him, right?
Yeah, but then it's hard to shoot the basketball when your biceps are that big.
Right, that's why I'm nice with it.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
You never see a basketball player with giant biceps and giant shoulders. You gotta have flexibility up here. Like in football, you don't have to have no shoulder flexibility really. Just gotta be able to have a strong shoulder to be able to one that jam and pick people up the way he do with the straight arm rush. So he can't cover.
But we're gonna rush right into the next segment in a little bit, and coming up to tell us how many fucks he gives is comedian Timothy DeLaGhetto. Apparently enjoying a sandwich. Can we eat on set? You want to bring some of those?
Is DeLaGhetto the name he chose for himself?
You can ask him.
Or is that his birth name?
Why did you make that?
Because DeLaGhetto's goddamn,
why did you do this?
Y'all remember the Hurt Bay viral video sensation of 2 former lovers confronting each other that broke the internet last year? Well, now there's a different kind of hurt by a different kind of bay, the Bay Area. The Raiders are moving to Vegas in 2020, but their lease is up after this season, and while no one knows where they'll play next season yet, it's safe to say the Oakland fans aren't taking the breakup very well.
What you did, homie?
I did everything.
Sprinkle me, man.
I moved the team to Vegas. I did everything.
I would see them articles on the World Wide Web saying the Raiders was dipping, yada mean. You was getting hypey. I would ask you about it and say, is y'all leaving the Oak? And you be like, nah, we ain't finna dip. But you was lying.
There was kind of a point when things just weren't the same. Your stadium was flooding with raw sewage.
Hey, you jawsing, right?
No. Shitty water would literally flood into the stadium. We called it poop soup.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, if you would allow it to get to that measure, and you wouldn't get rid of that embarrassing fucking baseball dirt, why wouldn't we leave?
Oh no, I think we was out of pocket. You feel me?
Sometimes I just think that we're just not on the same page.
Hey, we was hella tight though. On my mama, I still fucks with you. Just win, baby.
It's like the Predator and Fat Chucky.
It's even better, even better. Joining us today is a very funny comedian, actor, and rapper. You've seen him on Wild'n Out, and his YouTube page conveniently is named after himself. Welcome, Timothy DeLaGhetto, to the show.
Hello. Hi. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
That's my boy.
Yeah, hey,
That's
man.
my boy.
Yo, I did this show because, they told me James was going to be here, and he's too cool to pick up the phone, and he owes me money. So
I said, meet me on set, man. I'm worked. I'm booked and busy. Come to my show. I can't come to your house. You come to my house. That's my boy Tim, everybody. Tim, that's everybody.
Hey, what's up?
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
I didn't know that James had friends outside of mostly football cast.
That's what they like to do. They like to make fun of me and stuff. This ain't normal.
I mean, we didn't hang out outside of Wild'n Out either, but...
Yeah. How was your time on Wild'n Out? Was that fun?
It was a good time. It's a fun show. It's a bunch of just loud-ass comedians come together.
Honestly, he would be great on Wild'n Out, because on Wild'n Out, there's literally no filter.
Yeah.
And...
I would like to be on Wild'n Out. Holla at me, Nick Cannon. And how did the fuck you get a name like DeLaGhetto?
Oh, it's from the Fresh Prince. You remember,
Yeah, I remember that now.
Yeah, it was that episode.
So you stole from the black community and named yourself?
I mean, that's what I based my career on. Appropriation to the max. Out here.
Transparent. He's very transparent. Ask him anything. He'll tell you the answer.
Oh, that's just tight. That's just tight. I mean, I like DeLaGhetto. I remember now from Fresh Prince of
That's an
Bel-Air.
iconic episode.
Yeah, it is. I remember now. It didn't ring a bell at first, but now it rung a bell.
Because when I was little, I wanted to do everything that Will Smith did. So then, and I was like, I felt like the Fresh Prince raised me, so that's why I took that moniker and put it on.
Oh yeah.
I have no idea
about,
how
like-
to segue out of this.
What
so
about
I'm
like Jet Li or
not
Jackie
even gonna read
Chan or?
I mean that's a little too obvious. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just fucking with
See?
you.
Just like that's a Wild'n Out joke.
That is a Wild'n Out joke. Basic.
Liz, be quiet. Liz, take it away.
Thanks. I mean, I don't know how to get to this one because it's a long way to go. But a Montana man out taking target practice was nearly hit by a hunter who claimed he mistook the guy for Bigfoot. The shooter advised that next time the man wear orange because Sasquatch isn't orange, obviously. Clearly that guy didn't give any fucks. Time for how many fucks?
Wait, was it a big?
First up, Jordan Peele released the trailer for his creepy as hell horror movie Us, and the internet went insane. It's the director's follow-up to his Oscar-winning Get Out. It's got masks, monsters, bunnies, and doppelgangers. Everyone's got 5 on it, but Marty, how many fucks you got on it?
I give 1 billion lines worth of fucks because he's gonna find some way to name drop and be here and produce the film or something to be associated with it. He's like, yeah, you know me and Jordan Peele, we were hanging out, you know, when he was writing the script and I gave him that one-liner right there that you saw. You know how Ben is. He don't really do anything, but he does everything.
Hilarious.
All
Crazy
right.
Ben, man.
Tim,
Yeah, I give this one a wet mattress of fucks because like I recently peed the bed and it was the first time I peed the bed in a long time since I was a little kid.
Yep.
So I feel like since I'm gonna be really scared, now that I'm a married man and I'm older, I'll probably pee the bed.
But how recently was it when the
Yeah.
last time you peed the bed?
So the last time I peed the bed was like a week ago. Before that, it was like I was a little kid, but this time was my first time being grown, and I peed the bed. And I feel like now, you know, when it happens, it's in your head, and you feel like it's gonna happen all the time. So
Yeah,
now
right,
I feel like it's in my.
If you had to predict your next pee in the bed, it'd probably be
After
He's like a gremlin. No water after 9 p.m.
hilarious. Hilarious. But this is my friend. He ain't no gremlin.
James, what about you?
I give it 1 Looney's album worth of fucks because Looney's is the group behind the song I Got 5 on It, which is featured prominently in the trailer, and I couldn't get past that. I mean, that's the most creative way to use such a Oakland gangsta-ass song that's talking about $5 towards some weed, and now he's elevated it to use in a horror trailer. I'm gonna see the movie because, you know, it's just,
Musical score.
yeah, you
The
know,
song's-
just for the music in general.
The song's tainted forever now.
It is.
You know?
I never.
I mean, I learned it from the Houston version, but yeah, that's cool too.
I'm going to give $108 of fucks because that is what it is going to cost for me to hire a babysitter for 4 hours, go to the ArcLight because this movie looks ArcLight worthy, get myself a popcorn and some red vines. I think this movie looks awesome. I cannot wait to see it. I watched Get Out a bunch of times.
Wait, so for 4 hours,
That's $20 an hour for a babysitter. This
Okay.
is Los Angeles.
yeah, she's doing well.
She getting a good babysitter, not
Yeah.
just somebody.
Do you use the babysitting app? Okay.
I gotta have.
I don't use the app either. I think it's weird. There's
It's
a lot of
creepy.
things. There's a lot of things you can use the app for. Finding a babysitter is not one of
Oh,
them.
they have one for driving your kids around. Like, I'm just gonna be like, here they go. No,
No. Some people down with that though.
not me. But some people also down with erotic drawings from Tupac. The late rapper, not just the hologram, just hit the auction block. Tupac reportedly made the artwork for his girlfriend Desiree Smith in 1995 while he was locked up in prison. Marty, we know you appreciate art, so how many fucks for art depicting sex?
I give 1 conjugal visit worth of fuck. I mean, because the whole thing is, I just wonder if that picture is sticky.
You nasty, bro.
Did she get it? She like, hey, Pac, it's stuck together. Like, I can't get the pages like out open. Like,
Pac jizz.
I mean, it's a good
how
drawing.
do you want it? How do you feel? Come on.
How many fucks you giving the Pac jizz?
I give the Pac jizz drawing a 1 secret house in Cuba worth of fucks.
Oh.
Because I feel like Pac is still alive, and he's gonna see how much this one sells for, and he's gonna be at his crib in Cuba painting up a whole bunch of new ones so she can ship them off and sell them on eBay.
You're doing a good side of being part of the black community right now. You got a conspiracy.
Hey, look, man, I've been doing this my whole
DeLaGhetto
life, bro.
More sticky art coming out of Cuba.
James,
.com.
.com.
Are you giving any fucks?
StickyArt.com by Tupac.
Sticky art.
And they about to change their IP address. This IP address is in Cuba.
I give one reluctant fuck because I'm a Tupac fan, so anything Tupac does, I gotta give a fuck about. I really don't want to know about his little pornographic drawings to his girlfriend that happen to be sticky. That's not one of my main interests in the Tupac, topic area. But I have to give a fuck because it's Tupac related, so one reluctant fuck.
See, this is my
funky fuck.
Are we at this place that like a man can't send his girlfriend some secret drawing? Like, I don't want to own that in my house. I'm gonna give 64 fucks because it was very colorful. And back when Tupac was drawing it, there were 64 crayons in a box of Crayola crayons. So I'll give that many fucks. But I think people need to mind their own business, and this is a little too.
Is that hot though? Is
it hot?
Like for a dude to send like
it's like a dick pic
paintings,
but artistic dick pic.
That's true. I'd rather have
It wasn't
a Tupac caricature than a dick pic. You got that, Marty.
That wasn't a dick pic. That was a position pic.
Yeah.
I mean, but at the end of the day, it's all about the dick. So it's like...
Well, it's all about some other stuff, let's be real. But a woman after my own heart, not Desiree Smith, but this lady. There's a mom who changes the Wi-Fi password in her house every day to make sure her kids do their chores. She withholds the password until her kids text her photographic evidence that the tasks were completed. Each test has to include a specific box of crackers that she leaves out to prove it's legit. It's kind of genius. Marty, how many fucks do you give for this super clever mom?
I give a limited data plan worth of fucks.
Ooh, I like that one.
Because it's like, I get it. It's kind of cool. It's a good idea. It kind of becomes a game with the kids after a while. Like, let's finish all these Bear Hugh Treasures so that we can have access to Fortnite. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's a good parenting skill, but I don't know if it's because they really don't have the data plan for them to actually just use it at will. Because if I was there, I would not need the Wi-Fi because obviously if I could send my mom a picture, I have access to the internet, so I would just tether from my phone. But I'm probably much smarter than those kids.
Tim, are you as smart as those kids? And you give them fucks?
Well, coming from an Asian family, whether you're smart or not, you got to get the grades somehow, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't about being smart, it was about putting in the work. So I gave this a Nike sweatshop worth of fucks because, that's how Asian families run the household, you know what I'm saying? It's either an A or if it's an F. It's nothing more, nothing less, So I relate to this. I definitely got awarded with being allowed to eat at night if I got my grades. No, I'm just playing.
Does your mom? I was watching a movie and this dude had an Asian mom and she used to pluck his eyebrows.
Ooh.
When he did shit wrong.
What? Really?
Yeah. I was just wondering if there's like something in the culture.
First of all, you said general Asian. And this Asian mom. He's a specific Asian.
I mean.
I'm a specific black, but you still call me African American.
No.
Does that work the same way?
Anyway,
No, it doesn't.
James, I don't know if your mom plucked your eyebrows, but I'm wondering if you give any fucks about this.
First of all, my mom is not to be brought up on the show. Second, I don't speak about my mama. What is this? I get one chill pill worth of fucks because this mom, she needs a chill pill. I mean, honestly, come on now.
She probably owns chill pills.
Photographic evidence. Taking away the Wi-Fi.
Think it's too much?
Just open the door and make sure they're doing the homework. Kids got to be a little bit afraid of their parents. That's all. Just be enough of a parent that they're a little bit afraid of you, that they do their homework, and then they get the Wi-Fi. Yep. But if your kids run your house to the point where you have to
put crackers on the shelf.
What if mama need Wi-Fi? What if she making something?
How many crackers do they got?
Also, I just give one go outside and play fuck. I'm not playing with you. You're gonna do what I said you did. If you don't, I'm gonna lock the doors. I've done this to my 5-year-old. Go outside and play. I'm gonna lock the doors. You need to get outside and breathe some fresh air.
But I got a question though, because I have white friends growing up, and their parents used to do shit like this all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like you go over there, they call their parents by their first name. Like, hey, yo, Jim. I'm like, that's your dad, right? Like they call him by their first name. They make Kool-Aid with no sugar. Shout out to my homie Rio who did that shit actually in real life. Like. It's just weird shit that goes on in white households that I just never understand because my mom would never do no shit like that.
Liz, take it away.
Finally, and this is fun. As a Bulls fan, this is very huge. ESPN released the first trailer for The Last Dance, their 10-part 30 for 30 documentary on Michael Jordan's championship Bulls teams from the 90s. The doc is going to be released in 2020. Marty, how many fucks for some vintage Jordan?
I give 6 championship worth the fucks. I think this is gonna be really cool. I love documentaries on great human beings who did great things, like in their talented fields or whatever. So I like to see people excel, and I like to get the back story of how things happen and who they were as people. Like, you know, like Jiro Dreams of Sushi, that type of shit.
Tim.
Word. You know what? For me, you know.
Like sushi?
Who doesn't like sushi, bro? Who doesn't like sushi? I know, James. I appreciate you. I give it a LeBron hairline of fucks, because, you know, I feel like a while ago I probably gave more fucks about it, but now as time goes on, I probably don't give as many fucks. I don't watch many documentaries. I probably won't end up watching this. I mean, Jordan is the GOAT, but yeah, nah, I probably won't.
Tim's a hater. James, how many fucks?
I give 369 days worth of fucks, because it comes out in 2020, and that's a year and 4 days from today. That's 369. I'm super excited.
Yes.
Bottom line, super excited. I'm obsessed with Michael Jordan. I mean, when I watched that trailer, I was damn near aroused. Anybody else? Too much? I'm sorry.
No, I love it.
I was not aroused.
I was definitely aroused. I give 1,901 fucks because the United Center's address is 1901 West Madison. That's where the Bulls play. What? I had a poster of B.J. Armstrong on my ceiling.
B.J. Armstrong on your ceiling?
B.J. Armstrong.
This is everything. I had a Beanie Baby Bull. When Michael Jordan retired the first time, I cut that shit out of the Chicago Tribune and put it on my door. This was everything growing up. It didn't matter who you were, what neighborhood, all of it was really important. I am so excited to spend, take all my money, charge me for this. I will throw money at the TV to watch these hours. And you know what Michael was saying about being addicted to competitiveness? What you were talking about earlier, that's reminding me of you.
Yeah, I mean, he's a champion. I'm only one champion, but there are some similarities in people who have this drive to be great.
Yes.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I have this addiction to, like, telling the best stories. You know, I'm always working on it. I always want to get better at it. Tom Brady's like that. He's addicted to it. Like, and then you start to love it so much that it just becomes who you are. And I think that was a big part of I'm interested in learning, because I just like people who are great at what they did so I can learn from them and take some of that shit that they have and add it to my repertoire of awesomeness.
Well, since you're into studying greats and, you know, seeing how they work, we have a great with us today. My boy Timothy DeLaGhetto is one of the greatest freestylers I know. Comedy freestylers, Wild'n Out Hall of Fame, one of the best to do it with wild style. Hey, I'm just keeping it 100, my brother. You know what I'm saying? So let's drop a beat, and, you know, maybe you can leave us with some hot bars since it's winter and it's chilly outside.
Okay.
Yeah.
Turn it up.
Turn me up.
There you go.
Okay. Fresh off the top, man, I hate to say this, but I dress better than my boy James Davis. Thanks for having me, thanks to host me. Talking about football, well, mostly. Hey, and I like the art from Tupac, but this is the part where I go off the top and I spit a rhyme. Just for y'all, yo, we run out of time, but yeah, it's time to shower. Cause just like homegirl, I come with that go power. On the sweatshirt off the top. Come around the spoon and they often drop to their knees. You know I got the groupies. If you don't like the style, then you should sue me. Yes, that's right, I'm Asian. I do like sushi, but I'm here to say that big tip off the top, I'm too raw. This is the show I know that you saw. Me do my thing, now it's time to end it. Yeah, that's right, and I won't pretend that.
No need to pretend it. I was about to backdoor my man on the rap.
Damn,
y'all good though.
They be cutting you off, man. I felt you about to come through.
I know, you know.
And then I was about to drop a hot 17.
Who the Jason?
I mean, that was already epic. We don't need backdoors or you dropping anything. But I will say thank you, Timothy. Tell the good people at home where to go. Check out more of you.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you could always just go to my youtube.com/Timothy. I got a new show coming to, I'm not allowed to say that yet, but I got a new food show coming soon. Stay tuned for that. Yeah, thanks for watching.
Well, you and Darren?
All right, by now you've probably seen the clip of Migos doing carpool karaoke with the Late Late Show host James Corden. Well, the segment was so successful that Migos and Corden teamed up again to do a special holiday-themed version of carpool karaoke, and we have that exclusive video.
I'm stuck in the worst possible traffic with this parking lot, well, with no traffic. Do you think you can help me? Seriously? Oh, you guys are the best. Thank you so much. All right, see you soon.
Yo, yo.
since I've got you guys here, I thought we could maybe sing some carols for Christmas and Kwanzaa to get in the holiday spirit. What do you guys think?
Yeah. Hold on.
Fantastic.
Hold on, let me call Cardi first.
Oh.
Come on, bro.
Okay.
We're like peanut and jelly. We go together. Woo, 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 woo.
All right, I love you.
Okay, well, now that we got that out of the way, let's sing some carols.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Right.
Jingle bells,
Jingle.
jingle bells,
Jingle. Jingle.
all the way.
Jingle all the way.
Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh.
Hey.
Jingle bells. Oh, no. Guys, I think it's the police.
Has this ever happened to you before?
Never. We should be fine. They're pretty friendly.
You and you, out of the vehicle now. You stay.
He's probably just a fan. The police are always friendly. Jeez, I hope everything's okay.
Man, that's some bullshit.
The Migos in my car. Don't let him bring us down, guys. Let's sing another carol. And this time, let's do it holding a bunch of money. What do you say?
All right.
We wish you a Merry Kwanzaa.
Kwanzaa!
Wish you a Merry Kwanzaa.
Kwanzaa!
We wish you a Merry Kwanzaa.
Kwanzaa!
And a Happy New Year.
New Year!
Oh my gosh, guys, this has been such a wonderful day. Thank you so much for joining me for this. I'll never forget this. Thank you, Migos. Oh my goodness, thank you so much.
Man.
Oh no, police.
All right, Marty's amazing camera.
That looks so fun.
Amazing.
Kwanzaa! This is just random. It's funny because it's random.
Random!
But Migos, you know what I learned? That the Migos actually have great chemistry. Because I had no fucking idea what Desi was going to say or what Josiah was going to say, but I kind of knew it because we were imitating the Migos, so I could kind of figure out what they was going to say. Like, you have to imitate them, you have to imitate their chemistry, which is hard to do.
That was a spot-on imitation. Hats off to you. And hats off to the Pacers' Victor Oladipo, who gave away a car to a fan who was a victim of domestic abuse. Way to bring home some much-needed sunshine into her life. Also, must be time for the Marty Awards.
Yell out shit now.
My Marty Award goes to @Champion Causes. It's curated by Michael Galkin, and it urges fantasy football winners, I'm still talking fantasy, Mark, to donate a portion of their winnings to players' charities. I didn't win any of my leagues this year, but Champion Causes is a winner regardless.
That is very true.
I like that.
You know, I was just thinking about this. We talk about backup quarterbacks and how Nick Foles is taking over for Carson Wentz. So I think we might have a backup quarterback role being taken right now, Ben. This might be a Tom Brady, Drew Bledsoe moment. Well, so for me, my Marty Award goes to the women of the Imagination Agency, who my company would not work without them. They're awesome. They're great. There's like 14 people in the company and 11 of them are women, and the women make sure that everything we do inside the company works, and they're awesome. I love you all in a platonic way. You know, I'm not that type of boss, but at the same time, you guys are great, and half the stuff I do wouldn't be possible without y'all. So cheers to the women of the Imagination Agency.
Thank you. This week's Marty Award for me goes to gumbo. Yes, the food. The soupy, amazing dish that is gumbo. If you're black and make some kind of money, you had gumbo over the holidays. Your family had it. You went to a friend's house. They were serving gumbo. Gumbo is so goddamn good. It's got shellfish and shrimp and pork. It's just a combination of just everything in a bowl of goodness. Kind of like this show. Like I'm the crab. You're the shrimp, and I don't know how that metaphor is gonna go, but you know what I'm saying.
If anything, I'm the roux, which is the most important part of the gumbo.
Okay, you're the roux.
I mean, I'm definitely the shrimp.
You're the shrimp,
Fine.
and I'm the crab. And everybody wants a whole lot of meat in their bowl. But either way, gumbo's amazing. I don't know who invented it, but thank you, because my Christmas is not the same without some gumbo. Shout out the bougie black people over there in Madeira.
And Just like Gumbo, I have lots of things in my pots that I'm capable of doing. And on this week's adventure, I went and met up with the LA artist Kelcey Fisher, and we created some really dope art we call Once Upon a Time. If you're in LA, you can check the piece out in person, January 24th at the Blend Art Show, where a portion of all proceeds going into my pocket, and the other portion of proceeds going to support Downtown Women's Center. Take a look. What's up, guys? This is another Adventures with Marty, and today I will be collaborating, making art, which is one of my favorite things to do with Kelcey, aka K-Fish LA. The Adventures with Marty is for a special cause. What are we painting for? Let the world know.
We'll be painting this piece together, collaborating for a show I'm having in January at the Rendon. Part of the proceeds will go to the Women's Foundation Downtown Center. We have about 15 other artists collaborating with me. Marty is one of them. We'll be doing a big piece, 8x8.
So just to let you know, you guys, we have not decided what we're going to paint.
We're just going in.
We're just making all this up right now, starting from scratch. So what it is what it is, and let's do something. Thinking like this kind of like Where the Wild Things Are type vibe. 2 creatures or whatever and like a little kid.
I'm into it. Let's just start filling it up with color.
Okay.
We can rip this up and like layer it.
And then paint over it?
If we want, yeah.
That could be tight, yeah, because it add that texture.
You're saying your art's like your escape from everything, right?
Art was always like on the plane trips, home from games and 2 games, and that's how I got my mind away from sports. I would just draw on the planes and stuff. I always do like bright color hair, pink, orange. I like bright colors. I really love that. You want to put some down here too?
Yeah.
I like to make it as childlike as possible.
Now, when I was a kid in Florida, I used to just paint all my walls, and my parents used to get so pissed. They'd come in, I'd have like a full mural done in crayon. Yeah, I like this blue. What I'll do is the whole thing in white, and the rest will highlight in black.
Okay. Keeping a steady hand. I had to slap a lot of motherfuckers in my lifetime, so my hands not as steady as they used to be.
I'm all about collaborations. My inspiration has been people and cultures. I thought, why not bring on a lot of these artists that I met and turn these collaborations into something bigger.
This is actually looking really fucking cool. This is another Adventures with Marty. We got our hands dirty, we painted, we made things.
Come see it at the show at Blend. It'll be at the Rendon, January 24th next year.
So make sure that you tune in to more cool shit with mostly football. And you too are a work of art in your own way.
Adam Caparel, gambler extraordinaire, back for another week. Adam, what was your biggest gambling takeaway from 2018 besides James having to wear an elf suit for losing last?
Yeah, it was a struggle for James for most of the season, but I'd say probably I think the coolest thing was the stigma of being a gambler has kind of worn off this year with the legalization, so it's good to know that you're not a scumbag now if you gamble on sports.
James, do you care to explain what's in your lap there?
Yes, what had happened was I made my bets for this week, and I lost, and it appears that when it comes to picking football teams, I am a dummy. Thus, I have a dummy, a real live dummy, sitting somewhat on my lap right now with the Mark Davis haircut. And
I mean, it's just like you going out with your Instagram models. You have a dummy sitting in your lap then, you have a dummy sitting in your lap now.
You know what? That is not funny.
Marty's dropping it, and with the ball dropping this weekend, and you dropping the ball last week with another gambling loss, why don't you plan a new Big Ears kiss on that dummy for here?
Did you slide in her dead dummies? Did you slide into that dummy's DMs as well?
Come on.
I'm okay with that.
Oh, no.
They just met.
Go
they
for
just
it.
met. They just met. And did the dummy give consent?
I was wondering the same thing. All right, we're gonna open up some over-unders this week, looking ahead to 2019. So I'm gonna give you a number, and you let me know if you think it will be more or less than that number. First, with America's team clinching a playoff spot last weekend, over/under 0.5, so half playoff wins for the Cowboys. In other words, will they win a playoff game?
Who's the coach of the Cowboys?
Jason Garrett.
So that's a big under.
Ooh.
Oh.
You under that too? You don't think they're gonna make it past Saturday?
I don't know if they're going to make it past Sunday because I'm a dummy and I don't really watch football.
Oh, my God.
I've always wanted to do this since watching Goosebumps with Slappy, who's the bestest villain ever in a book. I mean, besides Voldemort.
Yep. Okay. In an interview this week, Tom Brady said, quote, I have goals to not only play next year, but beyond that. So I'll open up to you. Over/under 1.5 more seasons for the GOAT.
Me?
You know him.
Man, all I know is any motherfucker that eat avocado ice cream could do what they want to do for the rest of their life because he's going to be healthy. So I think Tom is at a space where if he wants to do it, but he's also getting at that age where his kids are getting older, he can't miss out on as many things, and the wife starts to push for you to be at home.
Well, she's making more money than him. Adam?
As a loser Jets fan, I'm praying for the under here. So again, I'm gonna take the under and
All right.
pray.
James.
He's got this. Next year is his last year. Giselle needs him home before the CTE sets in and he starts acting all crazy and
Man,
being
you can't say
unpredictable.
that, man. You can't wish that on a player, man. That's
I'm not gonna
dark.
wish it. I've done the research.
That's dark, man.
He got a little pinch of it. He got a tablespoon.
She did say that. She said he
Oh,
had
yeah.
concussions and he admitted to. So we'll take the under on that one. Keeping with looking ahead, we have the odds for possible 2019 stories. Woo! All right, so which story would you put your money on coming true? Jon Snow sits on the Iron Throne. I like that one.
I'd put my money on minus
Adam?
400. The Jets drafting a colossal bust in the first round of the NFL draft.
Would that make Adam Caparell smile?
No, it would just I think confirm that the world is right because that's what the Jets do.
Okay. No love for Jamal Adams, like you
I mean, it's great that
curmudgeon. He's the crab in the damn gumbo. My God.
It's great that the Jets. I didn't break that out.
You're the crab in the gumbo.
You're the real crab in the gumbo. I like that you used my metaphor though.
Hey, dummy, guess who's the crab in the gumbo?
Is that a Chicago reference? Like, where did you?
It just comes from the crab in the bucket. It's just that this bucket, she's referring to the bucket as the pot of gumbo.
Yeah, as a New Yorker, we've never heard that reference.
The crab in the
before,
bucket?
So, yeah.
That's because you're in the white community. Crab in the bucket is something that you don't
Adam, before we get out of
white
here,
privilege.
if we're betting real money, give us a few tips on what to gamble on the last week of 2018.
All right, since we went with an over-under theme for this segment, we're going to start with the total here, and I'm looking to the college game, a little bit of swerve for us than normal, but give me the over in the Alabama-Oklahoma game in the college football playoff semifinal. That's over 77. A lot of points should be scored there. So I'm taking that game, have to take the other game, and that is Notre Dame-Clemson. I'm liking the Fighting Irish plus 12.5. Back to the NFL, give me the Browns plus 6 over the Ravens, and then de facto playoff game on Sunday night, give me the Colts minus 3.5 over the Titans because Indy is 11-3 against the spread in the last 14 matchups in the series. And if you want to roll into New Year's, baller status, make it rain, and fuck up the club, do yourself a favor and follow my picks. And as always, fade James's.
Wait, but I want to change mine because I just heard it now. So we Browns?
Yes,
change mine to Browns. The people behind the scenes. Change. I don't want to have no dummy. I don't want no elf suit. I don't have to kiss nobody.
Wait.
I want all Adam's picks. Change it right now on the graphic. James's picks is Adam's picks.
Well, not yet, you know. That changed all my picks so I can do what Adam does because Adam's doing the right thing. I don't know what to do because I'm a dummy when it comes to football. Hi, I'm James Davis.
This dummy pal of yours, Marty, clearly moonlights as a football-picking savant, and he lent us his knowledge for Sunday's big Colts-Titans showdown. Thank you, dummy.
Yeah, dummy, I do what I can for you, Liz. Anything for you. And we have one dummy leaving and one dummy staying. So, Adam, with that, I would like to say goodbye. I'm just fucking with you.
We're having a good old time over here, aren't we? All right, wrong camera, right camera. All right, proving once again humanity is sometimes spiraling downward. A 17-year-old in Norway called the police on Christmas Eve because he was locked inside a Volvo. Here's the kicker. The kid was trying to steal the car he was trapped inside of by the auto locking feature. Time for You're Better Than That.
Like, goddamn.
The Monterey Aquarium apologized after being accused of fat shaming one of its otters. Abby is a thick girl, they originally tweeted, with a pic of Abby the otter. What an absolute unit. She chunk. Oh Lord, she coming. Apparently, people who follow the Monterey Aquarium Twitter feed were offended that slang typically reserved for thick black women was being used to describe an animal. You're better than that. She a chunk. What?
They said she a chunk?
Yeah.
I've never heard that referred to as a black
They
woman.
made that otter look hungry, but they are thirsty. Whoever is running that account is thirsty
That
AF.
otter was thick, though. It's thick for an otter.
I just respect the proper grammar use. There are 2 C's on that tweet, so props to you for Monterey Twitter feed.
Yeah, that is true. The spelling was on point.
And as always, we'd like to leave you with a little parting gif. Tonight's nominee, courtesy of Sean Payton and the NFC South champion Saints, who got their locker room party post-game Choppa-style dance on. Don't pull a muscle there, coach. Strong, but only a nominee.
I don't really know, like, what kind of bike is he riding? Like, he's like,
the Choppa.
It's a Harley. He's riding a Harley. Everybody else out there, they're riding a Ninja Kawasaki.
Not
you know what I'm
about the type of bike. We got to get to today's winner. Daddy Longneck and the Wide Neck Dude teaming up for the video Next Up. How y'all gonna beat that? It's the parting gift that keeps on gifting. I think our dummy friend might be.
Daddy Longneck.
Look at how long his neck is too.
Yeah, but his neck is nothing compared to Daddy Longneck's. Daddy Longneck is like, his dad could be a giraffe.
Oh, New Year's is next week. Marty, I'm not sure you believe in that. Probably just another day in your little world, your big world. But anyway, resolutions you guys would like to share heading into 2019?
Honestly, just no. I mean, I can't think of any right now. I'm just really happy where I'm at, man. I'm on Mostly Football, work with an amazing cast. I should just keep on doing what I'm doing because I'm in the company of great people. Ooh, take that. Beat that, cast.
I'm anti-resolutions.
That's shocking.
Why do you need to have a resolution? Just do it. Like, why do you have to put it out for the world? Just like do your own thing. Don't announce it. Like, I feel like it's a self-aggrandizing bullshit.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
There you go.
I agree with a lot of things Adam says.
I know, you two are.
I speak the truth.
Well, I just feel like I don't need a resolution. You know what I'm saying? Like, my whole thing is just to keep it as lit as it was in 2018 and 2019. Keep that same energy. Keep cashing those checks, MB. You're doing well. And I just want to take a chance to pat myself on the back, even though my rotator cuff is torn still to this day. I just want to pat myself on the back. Because where the fuck you doing, MB? You're doing a great job. Liz, you're doing a great job as well. So just keep that same energy. When it comes to resolution, I don't do resolutions and I don't do reservations. I expect the table when I show up.
Yeah. But you are going to do a goodbye, so hold on. Thanks for letting me sit in. This was super fun. Ben will be back next week to drop more names.
I don't know. I don't know. The team is better. The team, we're like the Eagles right now. Like, you know what I'm saying? We're doing very well. We're doing very well. Today was a great show.
All right. Thank you very much. I would love in 2019 to be as confident as Marty. Be sure to check out Mostly Football every Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific on Yahoo Sports and Complex. Enjoy all the Week 17 games. May your favorite teams make the playoffs. For Marty, James, and Adam, I'm Liz. Happy New Year. Thanks for watching.
Some of y'all teams suck.
Yeah, fuck resolutions.
Yeah. Resolution my ass.
Complex.